I swapped my brother's protein powder for flour and he brought it to the gym. So my brother Dylan is 24 and for the last year or so he's turned into one of those guys. You know the type. The gym is his whole personality now. He talks about macros at the dinner table. He weighs his chicken on a little scale. He posts videos of himself lifting with captions like no excuses and built different. Which fine, whatever, good for him I guess. Get your gains. The problem is he doesn't shut up about it. And more specifically, he doesn't shut up about how much better his discipline is than everyone else's. We still live together, splitting rent on this 2-bedroom place, and every single morning it's the same thing. He's up at 5 a.m. slamming his blender, and if I'm awake he starts in on me. You should come with me. I do not want to be lectured at 5 in the morning by a man drinking a beige smoothie. It got worse when he started buying the expensive powder, like $80 a tub. He kept it on the counter like a trophy, and one time I moved it to make room for the coffee maker and he goes, "Careful with that, that's not cheap, not cheap." He reminds me the container cost more than my headphones. Then 2 weeks ago he really stepped in it. We had our parents over for dinner and my mom asked how my job was going, and before I could answer, Dylan jumps in. He goes, "Honestly, he just needs structure. He's got no discipline. I've offered to train him 100 times and he always finds an excuse." In front of my mom, my dad kind of chuckled, and I just sat there. Later that night, I'm in the kitchen and I see the tub sitting there, chocolate flavor, and I don't know, something just clicked. So the next morning while he was in the shower, I opened it up. It was maybe a third full, and we had this big bag of all-purpose flour in the pantry. Same color, basically. I scooped the last of the real powder out into a Ziploc, hid it, and topped the tub back up with flour. Shook it around so it looked mixed. Put it right back where it was. I figured he'd notice at home. Take one sip of his little breakfast shake, gag, and I'd get to watch it happen and act innocent. That was the whole plan. A dumb prank. I wanted to see his face, but he was running late that morning. He grabbed the tub, threw it in his gym bag, and left before I even got up. And I panicked a little, because now the joke was happening somewhere I couldn't see it, but also, what was I gonna do? Text him, "Hey, don't drink your protein." So I just let it ride. He goes to this gym where he knows everybody. It's his kingdom. He does a whole post-workout ritual by the water fountains. Scoops his powder into his shaker bottle. Shakes it up in front of God and everyone. Except flour doesn't dissolve. It clumps. It floats. He told me later he shook that bottle for a solid minute and it just turned into this gray paste with lumps in it. He thought maybe it was a bad batch. So he opened the lid, looked inside, and stuck his finger in. And a guy he lifts with, this dude Marcus, looks over and goes, "Bro, why do you have flour in there?" Dylan says, "No, it's protein." Marcus takes the bottle, smells it, and goes, "Dylan, that's flour. That's literally just flour and water. You made glue." He said 3 other guys came over. Somebody dipped a finger in and confirmed it. Somebody else said the smell was raw bread. And then the gym's whole group chat got a photo of Dylan's shaker bottle full of paste with the caption that Dylan knew pre-workout just dropped. He came home that night and he was quiet, which never happens. He set the tub on the counter real slow and goes, "Did you do something to my protein?" I said, "What do you mean?" He goes, "It was flour." In front of everyone. Marcus posted it. There's a whole thing now. And I wanted to be sorry. I did. But I thought about dinner and my mom's face. And he's got no discipline. And I said, "Weird. Maybe you should have checked before you drank it. You know, structure." He didn't say anything. He just looked at the tub, then at me, then picked up his bag and went to his room. The gym still calls him Flower every time he walks in.